Hey, welcome out to channel14.com's Bodega Nights. I'm Joao.
I'm Paulo.
And this is Martin.
And I missed you guys.
Oh, miss you too, man.
Aww.
It's been a freaking while since we had this, by the way.
1 year or two? Gosh, it feels more like 5.
No, it feels like, almost a year. The last episode we were talking about your law school friends and that night with Norm.
Oh wow,
That was the last episode, dude?
I think so.
When we were talking about that, like, Barney Purple evening?
No.
wow.
The evening that we do not speak about.
Yes.
Really, this feels ancient to me. This feels ancient.
If you haven't heard about that episode, do yourself a favor
and
don't check
listen
that.
To it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, by the way, Martin, I have to thank you.
Because I have respect for my friends. Yeah.
Martin, I have to thank you and Mix for restarting Third World Gaming, man.
Thank you to Migs if you're listening right now.
Which he isn't.
But, dude, if you guys can keep this up for at least like once a month, you're already doing more for Third World Gaming than I could ever do in my current state.
Career as a podcaster.
Well, my career as an internet talking head.
Aw, thanks, pal. But we're just doing the best we can to give you guys some third world gaming goodness, featuring Critical Index. Anyway,
What
sounded so like professional.
Actually, what is Critical Index?
Well, criticalindex.net is a site that
.net?
Migs has made, and we could see that channel14.com is a good avenue for us to have a podcast talking about gaming and finances.
Right.
That's why it is a two-way relationship. So on behalf of Critical Index, we would like to thank channel14.com for hosting Third World Gaming featuring Critical Index. And now let's just be more free-flowing. This is Bodega Nights. Okay?
No, as far as I understand Critical Index, it is our buddy Honorico using his expertise as what does he do? He's a fund manager or something.
Yeah, fund manager, stocks analyst.
Yeah, so I know that he is a fund manager by profession, and that necessarily involves like playing the stocks.
Yes, sir.
Right? So he is taking all of that knowledge and applying it to analysis of the video game industry as a whole. Like that's how we understand what he's trying to do with Critical Index.
Yes, sir.
So just think of it as like if you thought games were nerdy and you thought deep knowledge of the stock market is nerdy, you put them together and you get like the life's work of Juan Miguel Honorico Lopez.
Damn. Just said the whole name, huh? We just called him Migs.
I don't know. It's like an introduction to the internet, right? Like,
nice. But yeah, guys, you can check out Third World Gaming at this site and also check out criticalindex.net for more Honorico.
Yeah.
I also write sometimes. Just saying.
Right.
So.
Third World Gaming.
Joao, how was your day? How are you recently?
Yeah, I've been pretty good, man. My career as an educator, as a pedagogue, as a polluter of young minds is in full swing.
I see. I heard there were a couple of fans of my show. Do we have to give them a shout out?
I'd rather not. They know who they are.
You know who you are, kids. You have questionable taste in listening to my podcast. I can refer you to more local podcasts, but they're more into politics most of the time. So stick to Jobber Talk. That's all I can say. Stick to Jobber Talk.
What's it? In education, or what we used to call projects in like high school and college, we now call them performance tasks, which are supposed to replicate what you do in the quote real world. So like every project now begins with you are like data analyst for blah blah blah, and you're supposed to do this. What I had my kids do for their performance task was a bunch of podcasts on a social issue in Philippine culture, society, or politics. And some of them were really good.
Dear God.
Others not so much.
You're a sadist, Joao.
What?
On current events, seriously?
Yeah.
You podcast on current events?
Yeah.
Well, technically, he's not the one podcasting.
I was forcing them to podcast.
It was like it's the students who needed to do it for the grades.
But hey, at least look at it this way. It's less torture. It's them talking about it, not listening about it in a podcast. So good on you, Joao.
Speaking of current events, man, freaking Mocha Uson running for senator.
Oh, this is where I have to mute myself. Go, Pau.
Huh? What do you mean mute myself? I mean, like, why? Why mute myself? I mean, I'm not you and you're not me. It's like, how am I supposed to know some of this info? It's like it's like I've been focusing on a lot of other things, so I haven't really kept up with a lot of the stuff.
Right. So Mocha Uson is a very, shall we say, divisive, a very divisive personality in Philippine politics. She is running for senator, and it is making me rethink my, how do we put this? It is making me rethink my conviction to fully support the Philippine Constitution as it exists right now, because I like the idea of having a bicameral legislative branch where you have the lower house, which has 200 to 300 odd, 250 plus odd representatives, and they're supposed to represent an entire swath of Philippine society. So that's where you have your actors and you have your children of politicians and the occasional lawyer, the boxer at one point in time. And this is supposed to represent the people of the Philippines. And then you have the upper house, which is, in my opinion, which should be the more, shall we say, educated part of the lawmaking body,
actually,
because there are only 24 of them.
Yeah, actually, can you answer me a question?
I will try my best.
That I've been honestly confused about about the Senate. I've been legitimately confused about this because of what I know about the Senate.
Okay.
Here compared to the Senate in certain other places.
The United States, yeah.
Why is not just the US but in other places, period.
Okay.
Why is the Senate of our country not representative of regions or provinces?
Because that is what the House of Representatives is for. The Senate is supposed to represent the country as a whole. So if we look at the legislative branch of government, it is divided into two houses.
The lower
and the upper house. Yeah. The lower house being the House of Representatives, which represents individual geographical locations. So we have our representative for the North District in Cebu. We have a representative for our Cebu City, the representative for the South District of Cebu City, First District, Second District, etc., etc. Yes. And the upper house or the Senate is supposed to be representing the entire country in terms of writing our laws.
Okay,
they are a check to each other.
I know. I don't know. It just kind of confused me about that kind of difference between the House of Representatives and the Senate.
Is the Senate in the United States?
It's per state.
It's per state.
It's per state. But if I am correct, there's 2 Senate seats per state.
Depends on the state, I guess.
I know that generally the bigger states have 2 Senate seats, but by the bigger states I mean at least half of the states in the U.S.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know because I'm not that familiar with the way the U.S. government is structured. But speaking for us, the House of Representatives is representative of the individual legislative districts, they're called. And our Senate is meant to represent the entire country. And so I suppose that's the answer to your question.
And as an aside, since I think I can talk about this. Since
you took up political science in college, huh?
Yes, but this is not an opinion-based thing, and this is non-partisan anyway, what I'll be saying. Even a government drone could be confused. Say, we need you to go to the Senate. Isn't that the one in QC? No, that's the House of Representatives. Basically speaking, sometimes it's hard to differentiate where we have to go.
Right.
So budget hearing. So the Senate? No, House of Representatives.
That's House of Representatives because
it's so far.
The way the budget works is it begins with the DBM and then it is passed over to the House of Representatives because somewhere in our Constitution it says that all revenue bills, etc.,
it starts there.
It has to come from the House of Representatives and not the Senate
before it goes to
to the Senate,
next
right?
step,
Because when we talk about legislation, it can come from either house, right? So let's just say that a senator wants to pass a law that says that we cannot have pineapples on pizza. Or if anybody wants to do
Why
that,
would
right?
you not? Why would you want to prevent people from having pineapples in pizza? I never understood the sentiment because because pineapples in pizza are delightful.
This is coming from a guy who just had pineapples on pizza with Oreos.
Let's just be clear when we have this when we talk about the Oreo pizza. Let us be clear that the Oreo pizza in Alberto's does not have the filling. It is just the cookie part.
Yeah, the cookie part.
So
guys.
they don't crush up the entire thing. They just take out the cookie part.
Yeah, just cookies.
So what happens to the filling?
I don't know.
I get this feeling that it was one of the there is a word for a person that makes pizza. It isn't like a pizza chef. It isn't a chef. Like I have a friend that does that for a living.
A pizzeria man.
Yeah, a pizzeria dude or whatever.
Yeah.
Pizza man.
A dude named Mars. I'm like, Mars, you're a pizza chef? And then he looks at me. He's like, that's not what it's called, man.
So it's not like a patisserie or something?
I do not remember what it is.
Is he a proud liquid pizza chef?
Liquid pizza?
Like most of the people in Facebook.
Dude,
they're not only chefs, but they're proud chefs.
like liquid pizza?
At Krusty Krab.
Do we live in in the year 3000 already?
Yeah, but go on. The law on pizza, pineapples on pizza.
Yeah, if there any law, so say there is a law that or somebody wants there to be a law where you're not allowed to put pineapples on pizza. Tremendously unconstitutional, but let's just say that is a law that wants to, or that is going to be passed, right? It can start in either house of the in either house of Congress, right? So a senator can propose the law. It is gone through, it goes through the process in the Senate, so like 3 readings. And then it is thrown over to the House of Representatives where they do their 3 readings. And then if there are differences, changes, they come up with they form a bicameral committee, etc. Or it can start from the House of Representatives and the entire process happens in reverse. But when it comes to laws of local application and laws involving revenue, taxes, these all have to come from the House of Representatives. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning for it is, but there we go. What they know the they know the locality better. I don't agree with that, but I mean, like when it comes to coming up with the national budget, that has the General Appropriations Act comes from
the
yeah, well, jurisprudence, fine.
Yeah, jurisprudence.
But the General Appropriation Act comes from the House of Representatives because it is a revenue bill. It has to come from the House of Representatives, but it is of national application. So I don't quite buy the argument that members of the House of Representatives have local knowledge and therefore they would be better at coming up with a General Appropriations Act.
Here's one reason. They have also a good budget, like the pork barrel, I guess. But also senators have that.
Yeah, I mean, like...
though their numbers vary. How many senators do we have in the country?
24.
How many representatives do we have?
No more than 150 or as may be provided for by law. So right now it's like 297,
now,
maybe?
Imagine those 200 plus with all that money.
Yeah.
And you are someone who wants to use a portion of the GAA for next fiscal year.
Right.
Who are you gonna cozy up to first? House of Rep or Senators? House of Rep. So here's where the next story happens. Like, well, I guess I can say this. I know some guy who has to pass a certain law, a certain political person wanting to do this law, wants to push hard for this budget,
right,
which will be very beneficial to part of his office in this department. So who does he go first? He does have a couple of senators on the side who he's very chummy with.
Right.
But he plays harder with the House of Rep because they have a bigger pull in the whole budget hearings in the GAA for the DBM.
Of course.
And
because
so
it emanates from the House of
Rep. So basically, to the future lawmakers in this land, or future people who want to have a stake at our national budget, I guess the tip here is
Talk to the DBM.
you can talk to the DBM first, fine. But remember, you have more congressmen than senators. So if you want more talking heads on your side, go butter up some congressmen. But you did not hear this from me. But it has worked. I can tell you it has worked. And certain people have more budget now. And certain meetings abroad are more well represented thanks to some application of being friendlier to certain people.
And
that is local politics in the Philippines.
And I thought you were I thought you were going to bring in the indigenous people and the Commission on Human Rights.
Oh no, I can't. I can't do that. Remember, my job is on the line, so I can only make a certain example, and this is very broad.
Yeah.
Because almost every office in a government institution is doing this.
Right. Actually, let's be clear. When it comes to vocabulary, when we speak about the Congress, that is referring to the Congress as a whole. So that is inclusive of the House of Representatives and the Senate.
Oh yeah.
So it's like the Congress of the Philippines shall be comprised of the Senate and the House of Representatives.
It's the legislative.
The legislative branch. So it's kind of a misnomer when we call members of the House of Representatives congressmen as opposed to senators. As opposed to, or in not as opposed to, but as the counterpart in the lower house to senators, because congressmen refers to, or congresspeople, if we're going to be PC about it, members of Congress refer to the 300 or so that we have sitting there, inclusive of the House of members of the House and senators. Although it is easier to say congressmen to refer to members of the House of Representatives, so
And
I don't know.
The House of Representatives is unfortunately located in QC, while the Senate building is located in Pasay. So it could be a bitch to go to both of them after one meeting from the other place, especially giving us the Manila traffic situation on a weekday.
Dude. How's the Manila traffic?
Not bad, not good.
Not bad. Did it?
Oh, I think I can talk about this. One part of a MRT train got got detached.
Wait. Because like the story I read was about that lady who had her arm like ripped off or something.
Oh yeah, that happened the day before.
Or like mind the gap. The day after, I saw an image. I wasn't sure if it was real, of like a train or one of the trains coming head on.
No, that's photoshopped.
But what was the?
Basically, it got detached from the main train. One car of the.
Oh, okay, that's not that.
So
that's all right.
Talk about a detachment on two straight days.
Burn. Did you read about that, Pa? The guy who, or the lady whose arm got ripped off because she didn't mind the gap?
I heard about it.
Well, she fainted.
Yeah,
but like,
is she still in the land of the living?
Yeah. Thankfully, a lady who was there is also a medical person. So they quickly reattached the arm now. But the person who had her arm reattached still needs help, still in the hospital.
Yeah, I mean,
that's gonna take a while.
That was a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it's recent, so we wish her a speedy recovery. Thank God no one lost. At least it wasn't lost.
Anything more than what was. Yeah.
Anything more than what was lost. Okay.
So now we have an MRT bingo: detached limb, diaper on the line, detached car. Maybe the next one is flying car.
Dude, I wouldn't mind having like a flying car.
No, it's in a flying car of the train just
there's
like a train flip.
Yeah, the image of a flying car I have in my mind is one that doesn't, land suddenly and doing so while on fire.
As a person who leaves work and uses the MRT, it has yet to have happened to me that something bad has happened.
Right.
Usually, it's before I enter the car. It's like, the train line's not moving from Taft to here northbound. Okay, screw it. I'm taking the bus now. Bye.
Is the MRT, because the MRT was it was a product of public-private partnerships, right?
The Japan Philippines thing back in 2000.
Yeah. Would you happen to know what the term was? Like how long? Because it was a build, operate, transfer. If I remember it correctly, diba? So, some foreign investor or somebody in the private sector builds it, operates it for a little while, then transfers it to the government.
Yeah.
I want like something that I'm curious about is how long it is before the transfer is supposed to happen, or has the transfer happened already?
I think it has happened already because it's DOTR that's already manning the thing. And then they just need contractors or bidders for the maintenance. And I think they just took out Busan as the maintenance provider. So I don't know what that means. Maybe it's going to be worse now because there's no more maintenance people.
All right.
I wouldn't know. This is coming from a guy who takes the MRT. Doesn't know how screwed I am every time I enter a MRT.
Because I do remember when the MRT was fairly new.
It
and
was pretty good.
It was really good, right? I would ride it quite often.
Me
But
too.
then towards the end of my stay in Manila there, like it started to suck.
Yeah.
Like really bad.
I'm just taking the MRT because when I leave early from work, I just want to go back to Mandaluyong immediately
Yeah.
before 5 or 6.
Uh-huh.
But if I don't give a shit about like where I'm going, I just take the bus and just take a nap there,
All right.
which is gonna take an hour. Anyway,
Like Norm style where he just falls asleep on the bus.
yeah, not to be confused with Norm. Oh, I'm not gonna say the name. I'm sorry, Joao.
Why? I heard there was like some sort of drama going on.
Excuse
Tell me
me.
about it.
That's why I'm here, Joao.
What happened? I mean, what happened?
Yeah, what happened with the whole Norm thing?
Well, that's why I'm here to ask. That's why I'm here to ask you guys. Remember, I gave you the audio,
Yes, what?
and then on Saturday you guys uploaded an extra 3 minutes at the start of the show using Norm's voice, saying that apparently my show has been given a cease and desist letter of using Norm that brand.
Yeah.
So, Joao, care to tell me what that letter had and what did I do that merited that?
My lawyers are telling me not to
Say it
talk
on
about
air.
it.
But we can say a certain part, right?
Let me confer with my legal counsel first.
Okay.
I invoke my right against self-incrimination. Although it has a little bit to do with the copyright to a song.
But that was you, man. Unless... Oh my god.
Sorry, just...
Dude, are you telling me they have ownership on that now?
Yeah, sure, yeah. It was probably AG. I just woke up one day and I felt empty.
But hey, look at it this way. At least it gave us money, right? That's why I'm cool with it. But, next time, guys, before you upload the episode, instead of just texting me, hey, Martin, just tell them to skip to the 3-minute mark. And then they'll PM me and say, hey, dude, why did they censor part of your speech? Did you say a bad word? I mean, even...
He said the N-word.
Yeah, apparently even Yellow Cab was censored for some unknown reason. Are you telling me someone from Yellow Cab also felt pissed off at me for saying Yellow Cab, or no, that's just a safety precaution just in case they would? I think it's the latter, I hope.
I invoke my right against self-incrimination.
Okay.
It was probably... I still maintain that it was probably AG.
I don't
It's
know.
probably AG, yeah.
Because he's lost his hashtag passion.
Damn it, AG, you could have just texted me.
I don't know what's happening, but it sounds scary.
All we're saying, Pao, is the bigwigs at Channel 14 who are not here in this room, by the way. Not here in this room.
Are you sure they're
have
not
a
here?
lot of explaining to do.
Are you sure they're not here? They might be listening to you as we speak right now, man.
We demand an explanation. My listenership of 10 people. 10 people. And a couple of wrestlers, I don't know how many they are.
Some wrestlers.
Demand to
wrestlers
know.
are people too.
Yes, demand to know why I'm being censored at my own show. And I will not stop until I get justice from this sponsor that censored me. I can't say the name of the sponsor anymore.
Speaking of AG, ba,
Okay.
I think he's lost his hashtag passion.
We miss you, AG. And it's okay, I forgive you for censoring my words, AG.
AG, I'm more than AG. I just want to put this out here right now. I'm more than willing to indefinitely lend you my microphone.
Basically, the blue ball he's using right now as we record this.
There was a student because something that I do with some of my classes, or something I do with my classes is obviously at the beginning of the semester, in order to at the beginning of the semester I have like an ask me anything type thing with the students, right?
So it's like a Reddit in real life.
Something like that, where they ask me stuff like, how old are you? And I have to be truthful with them. I have been 21 for the better part of a decade now.
Okay.
And one of the questions that a student asked was, why was the last episode of Third World Linux episode 123? And it has been...
Oh my god. Can you ask him if he's the one emailing us about pod fading?
No, that is not that particular student.
Okay.
But the thing about Third World Linux is that Third World Linux has always been a show with AG de Mesa and Joao Atienza, and like the friendship is the primary thing of the episode, and the Linux is almost secondary. So the entire concept of that show is two, let's say, ill-informed, plucky podcasters who are trying to navigate their way through the Linux landscape, right?
In the third world.
In the third world. That isn't like officially what our show is supposed to be about, but that's what the show ended up becoming. And without AG, shall we say, being participative, it is not the show that it ought to be.
Damn.
I mean, I totally get it though. Like, he's married and stuff, so like, just let him have his extended honeymoon.
Okay, well...
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, but speaking of AG and speaking of my show, I guess I just won't say the sponsor's name so I won't be in trouble. And not use the apparently copyrighted material of that brand, which was your songs, right? I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
So we won't be in trouble.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure, because I don't want to be censored again in a future episode. Just saying, man. It's freaky.
Then insert like nah, never mind.
Okay. Well, yeah, just want to make sure. That's why I'm here in Cebu, aside from vacation. I'm here to save my show, Joao. It's all I got, man.
SMS.
It's all I got.
So how has your Cebu trip been so far?
Well, I'm here to find the truth about my show. Okay? I'm not letting it go, man. I'm just trying to know why, man. Thought we're all friends here. Okay? And then all of a sudden, I had fever, man. I didn't get to listen to it until I got sick. I had fever, and I heard my voice being beeped out. Even grabbed Camus, man. What did Camus do to you guys, man? Huh? Just kidding. Yeah, it's okay. I'm just like, I guess that guy needs the brand might want to have me do a formal apology or something.
I wouldn't know.
Yikes. I don't know, man. I just need your advice on that.
Well, let's have it off air.
Have it off air. Yeah, not here.
Yeah.
Not where everyone can listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I invoke my right of self-discrimination as well. Guys, there's nothing funny about invoking my right of self-discrimination.
If you guys follow Philippine politics, you'll know why that is really funny.
No, I do not. Okay, I do not want to discriminate myself. Or Accriminate or acclimate myself.
Incriminate, acclimate.
Yes, I also invoke the right of
against-
self-acclimatization.
Acclamation.
Okay?
Are you acting like somebody's pet lizard or something?
I don't know. I'm just...
Because
Guys, seriously, it's my show. And I feel violated. I got censored by my show. Hold on, I'll just cry in the other room. You guys got this. My show.
So just let him do his thing.
I don't know. I think I'll give him like one sad squeak.
How have you been?
I've been busy, and I'm also trying to get more exercise. But as far as I can tell right now, I guess my biggest problem is like my left wrist.
Why?
It still aches whenever I turn my hand in a flat shape with the palm facing upward.
But like you've been going to the gym like daily, right?
Well,
And you're one of those freaks that likes leg day.
Yes, I am one of those freaks that likes leg day because for some reason I like doing squats more than deadlifts.
Okay. Why? That's actually a really dumb question, right? It's like a matter of taste. But then why do you like leg day?
Because it doesn't involve my wrists.
Oh, wait, did you get that like injury on your wrist from like working out or from like playing Mobile Legends?
I don't know why. I either think I got it from working out, or maybe it's because I worked out with, any amount of weight bigger than like 20 pounds per hand, and I was wearing an armband on the hand that would end up feeling the pain afterwards. So it's either the amount of weight or the fact that I'm wearing an armband when I'm working out.
Ooh. How long has it been going on?
Like
how long has it been hurting? Because like my wrist has been killing me as well. But then like I don't work out.
How long has it been going on? I think it's gone on for the past week, which is why I've only been able to go yesterday.
So it's only been a week that you've been enjoying leg day.
Yes. Well, prior to that, I went on Saturday in the last week, and that one I was like trying out new exercises, and that strained out a whole bunch of muscles that I never felt before.
That's the best though. Like when I was really into sports, like in college, and I was really into arnis in high school. After doing all of the core exercises and stuff that you'd have to do, and like waking up the next day feeling pain in muscles you never knew existed, it was like really good. Like limping my way to class.
Wait, you were limping your way to class?
Yeah.
Dang.
Memories.
Wait, you were limping your way to class, so it involved your legs.
Leg day.
Yes.
Welcome back, Martin.
I'm okay. I'm not crying.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we can, help you fix you up by going with an intense leg workout.
Yeah? Is that gonna help my show? Okay, fine. I'm done crying over my show.
It's like
I'll just work around this, right, Joao? I got this.
Have you guys seen the Noli Me Tangere manga?
No, but it looks...
This is new to me.
Is
Literally new to me.
Is that the one making rounds on Facebook?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good anime look. It's like manga Jesus.
Who made it?
No idea. I just like saw it and I was hoping that I could get some insight from you guys because
I'll take a look at it, but I'm just wondering if it was made by a local guy or a Japanese guy.
Pretty okay.
Is it one of those things where like if it is not made by somebody from Japan, we cannot call it manga?
No, it's because I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that because I know for a fact that there are some mangakas that actually make manga based on like classical novels and whatnot. It's just, I'm just wondering if it was made by a Japanese guy or if it was made by a Filipino guy, because literally I'm just kind of curious.
Well, there is also a Russian adaptation to Jose Rizal's Noli Me Tangere. A few weeks back in APEC, Vietnam, one of the APEC senior officials in Russia, Mr. Valery, someone who's also a big fan of the Philippine culture here, he went here 2 years ago. He wore a freaking barong.
Yeah.
So this is a good adaptation. A manga, Noli Me Tangere, and a Russian version of Noli Me Tangere.
Was it a Russian book or was it?
No, it's a translation.
Oh, it's a
Noli Me
translation.
Tangere.
Full-on translation.
Yeah.
And don't talk to me. Well, I don't know, man. I really do not like that book.
It's just meh.
Noli
It's
Me
okay.
Tangere. Like as a piece of literature, it isn't exactly good,
Okay.
right?
But as the impact to Philippine history, there is still merit, in your opinion?
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
Okay.
obviously there is merit. It has lasted this long, but I just wish that it wouldn't be held up as like one of the pinnacles of like what Philippine literature is, because it was written by our national hero.
Okay.
You've read it, right?
We have to read it, man.
Yeah, like it isn't.
I still remember the first few chapters where Padre Damaso had to portion off the chicken broth to his table, to Padre Salvi, to this person, to that person.
Yeah. Like, but then when we took classes on creative writing, or when we took classes on how to write,
Yeah.
it was important that everything that we wrote had a plot.
Well, of course.
And the plot involved some sort of conflict, a rising action, your climax, your denouement, and like it had to follow this thing that looked vaguely like an anaconda that had eaten an elephant. Or a
anaconda.
hat, if you guys get
yeah.
Would that be
a boa constrictor eaten by an elephant eaten by a boa constrictor. I do not
would
remember.
that be a cosine wave or something or another kind of wave?
I was making a Little Prince reference, but if
Yeah.
you want to be, if you want to talk math, fine. It is something that looks like a standard normal curve skewed to the right,
And his anaconda don't want none.
right?
Yes, it got buns,
So there. If you look at skewed to the right slightly, but if you look at Noli Me Tangere, the entire thing is nothing but an exposition to a story. And right at the very end is when you have any sort of rising action, falling action, rising action, climax, and falling action, like
Yeah.
of those like 300 odd pages in the English translation. And I would assume that in the original Spanish, it follows much it is much the same, where you have the first like 4/5 of the book as nothing but exposition and this 10-page like escalation, climax, and resolution, and that is not good storytelling.
Sounds like a Dostoevsky novel. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right? Reminds me of a Dostoevsky. Like
Yeah.
Crime and Punishment. Fine. Wrong example. Like The Idiot there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prince Minsky. Prince Minsky.
But yeah, when it comes to the Noli Me Tangere as a piece of literature, it is not something that I think we should hold up as being good,
Okay.
right?
I think it's because, well, what do we teach to the kids about it more? The structure of the story, or what Rizal was exposing during that time, like the civilization of the Philippines, and how he depicts certain people, like the friars, the ladies inside the churchgoer, maybe certain schools. I think there was a chapter about that. I remember that.
Yeah,
Thomasides, the Ateneans, etc.
Right.
I think it's because, as you said, 4/5 is like a lull before it goes rising.
It is an exposition.
It's more of exposition because it does an exposition on society.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons why we teach that is to say, hey, this is how Philippine society is during this time, or at least how our national hero depicted it in his sense. And it will be skewed a bit in the next year when you read El Filibusterismo,
Right.
where he makes Crisostomo Ibarra turn into Simon. And that kind of shift of his character also is the shift of the narrative, of the tone of narrative.
It seems like it is a shift in the point of a shift in the point of view that also shows a shift in his position.
It's like, oh God, I think I gotta take back what I did in book 1.
Yeah, more or less.
Basically, it's like a Justin Timberlake discography. Remember the first album he had? It was about him just recently breaking up with Britney Spears and how the next few albums, there were certain songs that said, okay, take this back. Okay, that was a bad...
It is like the anti-Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it's like, I said Cry Me a River in the first book, but here's another song. Literally has a title of another song.
I suppose, right? If it shouldn't be taught in elementary school then, or like
that's why we teach it in high school,
or even in high school.
I think it's okay because certain people won't appreciate. We won't have time to read it during college.
We have a class called Rizal.
Yeah, and we didn't have enough time to read those 2 books. Remember, we have more readings. The First Filipino alone.
First Filipino was, and well, if you look at Filipino class in high school, freaking when we were in Filipino class in high school, we had to read Dekada 70, which
you
is
did?
Yeah, dude, we read Dekada 70 by what's her name?
I like the movie.
Lulhati Bautista.
Okay, because the one we read was Ibong Adarna, and afterwards was something else. Oh, wait, no, was it Florante at Laura? Okay, and then... So imagine, those are the 2 first year and second year high school I have to sit through, okay? And then we go to Noli and El Fili.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that was a palate cleanser. As much as we just hash on Noli Metangere, I would have rather read that than Florante at Laura and Ibong Adarna. Even though I kind of am amused by both of them, I don't like reading Tagalog poetry. I am having a harder time reading poetry than prose.
Well, that's about right though. Like if you read anything, poetry is a lot harder to read. In any language.
So, I was quite thankful for Noli and El Fili, honestly.
I remember that for like in high school we had to read Dekada 70 and another novel. It might have been, or was that in college na?
Mano po?
No. It's a film, right? Did you read Ang Dondoman May Langit din?
No, that sounds like an action movie.
And there's another book called Moog.
No.
Okay, because I remember reading all 3 of those at some point.
Whoa. How about you, Pao?
It might have been in college or high school or a mixture of both.
Okay, because I never took that in college. It might be here in Cebu.
A lot of these books.
Dude, you went to university in Manila in the same university.
No, for high school.
Oh, in high school,
I never had this in college.
Yeah, a lot of the books I'm hearing right now, besides Florante at Laura, Ibong Adarna, and Noli Tangere, and El Filibusterismo, everything else that you've been talking about sounds new to me.
Huh.
Okay. So
did you read the first Filipino?
Yeah, in UAP.
Heard about it, but no, I did not. I did not read it, and I don't think I stayed in UAP long enough to have taken it.
Yeah, 3rd year.
Okay. Alright, yeah.
Wow,
that book is really good.
Yeah. Oh, and remember, one of our friends, Doc Joam, just made a play called Floret Road about Rizal. So, yeah, if you're in Manila and he has a play date on that one, you gotta check it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I haven't really been keeping up with the theater scene in Manila, so...
Nice. Talk about that off air. Fat chance, guys. Yeah, right.
There's something that I wanted to talk about, but...
I think there is. How's my stay in Cebu after I kind of stormed off and cried like a little bit?
How was your stay in Cebu, man?
Well, yeah, I'm so happy. I got to eat steamed rice. I got to eat Alberto's Pizza. I got to eat another pizza place. And just recently, we just ate at Fat Cow. My God, that's awesome.
Dude, that's the best burger in Cebu. Like, in my opinion.
I gotta agree.
What's it? The...
Absolute quality.
That mushroom burger that they have. The mushroom cheeseburger is just really good.
It was. And then you added the Angus patty. Oh, yeah.
There's that. Well, it's either that or this place called Burger Joint. I also really liked the Burger Joint.
Oh, I think I walked through there yesterday. Burger Joint. It's near an Alberto's place.
Yeah.
Is the Burger Joint at the Gallery?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love
That's
it.
great. It's great stuff, man.
The burger joint is really good. And I really like that area, the gallery,
Yeah.
because it has the burger joint there. But then they also have like this really nice little art shop
Yeah.
that has all sorts of like calligraphy pens and stuff, and they have fairly cheap nibs as well.
Right now, can I disclose where we're recording? At least the general
swanky
direction.
condo. Yeah, what's up?
Which is located at Marco Polo, where I was here a few hours ago to get malicious cookies at the Marco Polo Hotel.
Nice.
So yeah, basically mission accomplished. Steamed rice, Alberto's pizza, Marco Polo malicious cookies. Yeah, let's just say my bucket list is complete here in Cebu City.
And now he gets to leave.
Yeah,
You got danggit as well.
yeah, from my grandparents, of course.
I really love the smell of danggit. I'm one of those freaks. Like
Oh, freaky.
one of those people like you have people that really like the smell of something like say durian.
Oh,
Like
dude, I like the smell of durian.
freak.
I like the smell of boad,
What's that?
dried fish.
Does that smell worse than danggit or what?
Same thing.
Same thing? Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I think it's smellier.
It's the same thing.
I guess it's probably only smellier because of when it's cooked.
Oh, hold on a
It's-
second. Joao?
Yes, Martin.
What grade of students are you teaching again?
Second.
Don't you mean 7th?
11th?
7?
1 point first?
I teach 11. I teach the 11th grade.
Man, I remember Bach and his 7.
7.
7!
Another like classic episode of Bodega Nights.
That we can talk about. Not the other one, the purple dinosaur.
Yeah. It was in that episode that I discovered how like how funny AG's wife is.
Hannah, yeah.
Yeah, like how funny she is. Because I was messing with Bok, right? And we were talking about like pants or something, right?
Pantalon.
Yeah, pantalon. And I
Etymology.
was telling him that the etymology of pantalon is that during the colonial period, people would use pants to jump. Like instead of using anything else, put on pants that way they can jump. So it's pantalon to jump. Bok looks at me, he's like, seriously? I'm like, no. And and after like a little bit of a silence, like you hear Hannah in the background, like really quietly saying, or it could be bread that jumps. Pantalon.
Oh! Yeah.
Never gonna forget that.
Shout out to AJ and Hannah. Hope you guys are doing well. We miss you guys in the podcast. Just saying. Speaking of people in the podcast, hey, even though it took me by surprise, I was happy we had a informal Radio Norm episode in my show. I miss Radio Norm.
We should make Radio Norm episodes.
Yeah. Norm, if you're listening, we want you to be on a webisode. Like, not just your voice, but also your face.
No.
Okay, fine. Just your voice. Just your...
Why do I get this feeling that if Norm showed his face, he'd have there'd be this weird ominous aura around him?
Yeah, no. Fudge. But yeah, man. Oh, God. One of the favorite episodes of Bodega Nights. So, Joao.
Yes, Martin.
Yeah, I'll just keep that in mind. I'll just do the standard Channel 14 thing instead of saying certain words like I can't say I blog at this site. I say I blog for this popular blog that talks about metropolitan Manila.
Yeah, or when I was still with reputable media company or large real estate developer.
So can I call certain sponsor a spherical object that does not relate to our friend Norman?
Sure. Yeah. Fine.
Okay, well that kind of takes a lot to say, so I'll just not say the name
Sure.
to be safe.
Cool.
I mean, yeah, I don't want this site to get in trouble.
Sure.
Unless, of course, it's like one big ruse from some people here that I'm not even aware of. But even then, no trouble for Channel 14. Anyway, so yeah, what were we talking about? Your students, yeah, 11th graders, not 7th or 2nd graders.
Yeah, dude, 11th grade.
7th. Jesus, is Buck here?
He might just pop out of a chair somewhere here.
Yeah, this is getting creepy, Joao. So, where do we go from this part? Got lost.
Donate on Patreon.
Oh yeah, don't forget to keep us here running in channel14.com. Help us unsuck by being a monthly sponsor.
It's been so long.
At patreon.com/channel14. I think that's right.
Was it? Follow us on Twitter at Channel 14 TV.
No, it's at CH14.
At
That's
CH14.
At CH14. All letters, no numbers. We got a YouTube page where you can check out select episodes of Third World Linux, Bodega Nights.
Nights.
And select episodes of the Pulitzer Award-winning radio known.
The Pulitzer Award.
Yeah.
Dude, we should make an award called the Pulitzer Award.
Yeah, it's not the Pulitzer Award. It's the Pulitzer.
Not the Pulitzer or whatever. Just the Pulitzer Award.
The Pulitzer Award. You can also check out other shows like our past episodes of Bodega Nights. If you really want to hear about the purple dinosaur, go ahead.
Yeah.
We warned you. We warned you about that episode, but go ahead.
Dude, good. I don't know if I should be thanking you or saying anything else, but you made me curious about the purple dinosaur.
Not tonight, pal. Please, not tonight.
Are you sure?
So obviously Paulo doesn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, but he's gonna listen to the revamped Channel 14 show, Third World Gaming, featuring Critical Index, who's also... And we also have Third World Linux coming up soon, I guess. You can do it,
Maybe.
You can do it.
Perhaps.
And don't forget, Jobber Talk is going to be coming back this Saturday. Where I will talk about MWF Balikbayan and a certain former WWE superstar coming here to the Philippines this December for their next show. Yeah, that's kind of big. Anyway, yeah. Guys,
what's really weird about Bodega Nights?
What?
Because Bodega Nights usually doesn't have the entire spiel at the end.
Wait, we just did the entire spiel?
Yeah, dude, we usually just end it.